Dan Price wakes up each morning in a hobbit hole he built himself, surrounded by the sounds of the river and the rustling of evergreens. For him, this is paradise. At 50 years old, Price has spent the last 2 decades rejecting the trappings of modern life, jobs, mortgages, and material possessions, in favor of a minimalist existence that costs him just $5,000 a year. His story is not one of hardship forced upon him by circumstance, but a deliberate choice to live simply, freely, and on his own terms. 20 years ago, Dan Price's life looked very different. He had a wife, 2 children, and a steady job. But after reading Pain Hollow, a 1974 book about author Harlan Hubbard's rejection of modernity and his primitive life on the shores of the Ohio River, Price felt a profound shift. Hubbard's story resonated deeply with him, planting the seed of an idea. What if he too could live a life untethered from society's expectations? Price's marriage eventually dissolved, and his family moved to Oregon. Instead of following them, Price chose a different path. He moved into a tiny cabin in the woods, then a flophouse, then a teepee, and finally into the underground hobbit hole where he still lives today. Nestled in a horse pasture near a river in Joseph, Oregon, his home is a testament to his commitment to simplicity. Inside, he owns just 1 spoon, 1 fork, and 1 knife. He prepares simple meals, often adding oats, nuts, and grains to whatever cereal is on sale. Without a refrigerator, he pours water over his cereal instead of milk. Price's lifestyle is not just about rejecting material possessions. It's about embracing a different kind of wealth. What happens when you get richer and richer is you dream of making a paradise for yourself, he says. What I have here is what rich people have. For Price, paradise is the freedom to live as he chooses, unburdened by debt or the need to conform. His days are filled with small, purposeful tasks. He removes 1 cottonwood tree each autumn, replacing it with an evergreen that won't drop large limbs during storms. He leases his property for just $100 a year and avoids buying new tools, preferring to find them at garage sales or on Craigslist and wear them out completely before replacing them. When he needs to do laundry, he washes his clothes in the river and hangs them to dry on a line. Price's version of the simple life costs him $5,000 annually, which he earns through a combination of odd jobs in Joseph and publishing Moonlight Chronicles, an illustrated journal of his life's adventures. The journal serves as both an artistic outlet and a modest income stream, allowing him to barter with sponsors for goods like tents and clothing in exchange for mentions in his work. Price's lifestyle is rooted in a deep skepticism of consumerism. People get this real high when they buy something, he observes. That's why they buy stuff all the time. I'm the opposite. When I buy something, I get this depressed feeling. For him, possessions are a burden, not a blessing. He finds joy in creating and maintaining his own little world, free from the pressures of modern life. This philosophy extends to his views on housing and work. I don't believe in houses or mortgages, he says. What person in their right mind would spend their lifetime paying for a building that they never get to spend time in because they're always working? Price's rejection of traditional housing is matched by his disdain for the 9-to-5 grind. Instead, he finds fulfillment in small, meaningful tasks, like volunteering at a Nez Perce Native American photo exhibit, where he shares his expertise on living in a teepee. Living off the grid is not without its challenges. 3 years ago, Price suffered a kidney stone and was hit with a $3,000 hospital bill. Without health insurance, he negotiated a payment plan of just $6 a month. I said, "Dude, I don't have $3,000. He recalls with a laugh. The incident underscored the fragility of his lifestyle, but it also highlighted his resilience and resourcefulness. Price's health is maintained through simple, self-directed practices. For exercise, he lifts a homemade barbell crafted from scrap metal and concrete. He sharpens tools for friends and cuts down trees in the meadow where he lives, finding satisfaction in the physical labor that sustains him. One of Price's most cherished roles is that of a caretaker. When he saw an ad for a job to maintain the local cemetery, he felt an immediate connection to the work. It was like a revelation, he says. Caretaker. There's something so cool about that word, like being a monk. I love mowing and taking care of a place. He wanted the job so badly that he started cleaning up the grounds before he was even hired. For Price, caretaking is more than a job. It's a calling that aligns with his values of stewardship and simplicity. Price's Moonlight Chronicles is more than just a journal. It's a window into his soul, filled with illustrations and reflections on his life. The chronicle serves as both a creative outlet and a modest source of income. It's also a way for Price to connect with others who share his values. Through the journal, he has built a small but dedicated community of readers who admire his unconventional lifestyle and his commitment to living authentically. For Dan Price, the decision to live in poverty was never about deprivation. It was about freedom. I like being able to do what I want to do, he says. His life is a testament to the idea that true wealth isn't measured in possessions, but in the ability to live on your own terms. In a world that often equates success with material accumulation, Price's story is a radical reminder that happiness can be found in simplicity, self-sufficiency, and a deep connection to the natural world. As Price sits by the river, sharpening a friend's chainsaw, or flipping through an issue of Moonlight Chronicles, he radiates a sense of contentment that many people spend their lives chasing. His version of paradise isn't a sprawling estate or a luxury car. It's the freedom to wake up each morning in a hobbit hole of his own making, surrounded by the beauty of the natural world. Dan Price's story is a challenge to all of us. What do we truly need to be happy? In a society that often equates wealth with possessions, his life is a powerful reminder that the richest experiences often come from having less. As he puts it, what I have here is what rich people have, and perhaps, in his own way, he's the richest man of all,